All right, we're back for the finish of the Kaiwi channel swim. So the finish, you finished in what looked like a tough area, and China walls, which is basically rocks that you had to scale up a little bit. So your original destination was Sandy's, and there you would have been able to walk out on the beach. Okay. And the current was pushing, so you weren't able to finish at Sandy's.
Correct.
Okay. When was that decision made?
So it was maybe after the Man o' Wars. After the Man o' Wars.
And you were how many miles out? 6 miles, I think
6.
You said?
Yep. But all that got a little confusing around at the end. So, but I think it was about 6 miles out. And Steve, at that point, when I had to hang out, Steve got a push of energy, and so the Boston Whaler kind of went with him.
You were together the whole time
until the Man o' Wars.
Okay.
Yep. So at that time, he started to get energy. I wanted him out and make sure that he was not in this field of Man o' Wars.
Right.
So he started swimming. The Boston Whaler went with him, and I could see they were trying to go north and then against, cut across and then take the current to Sandy. So I thought, oh, I can catch up. We'll figure out, they're figuring out the current, then I'll have a trajectory and I'll be able to catch up with them. So he went, and then the little boat stayed with me, and we could see that they were having a really hard time getting north. So they ended up, you could see moving and then going, and I didn't know those Spitting Caves, but they ended up finishing at Spitting Caves. So, and we knew we couldn't get there. And so then it changed a little bit. At first, we were trying to get to where that boat was. That wasn't working. We went a little bit south of that, and basically we're the guy that was pacing with me said you had to touch the wall. I couldn't, even the surge coming off, the conditions ended up getting so bad, I couldn't get to the wall. Kind of went up to the Boston Whaler, and they said, you're going to have to go to China Walls, just go around the corner. And then Ivan, the boat captain, said, Ryan is waiting to swim you in.
Oh.
So that was really cool, because I at this point had no idea that I only knew that Becky was at Sandy's Beach, and I thought, oh no, she's there by herself waiting for me. I did not know that
word was getting around town.
Ivan had told a couple other channel swimmers near that end that they thought I was going to finish. And then someone else on the boat told Becky that, the finish was changing, and she started telling people, hey, Deb's swimming the whole thing. So I did not realize people were waiting at China Walls, and I didn't even know where China Walls was. So they just said, swim down to the point. So I swam down.
Was there ever a point that you felt like you weren't going to make it in because of the current changing?
No, because you're just gonna, if you get stuck, it was just gonna take us south, and eventually you could get out. So
and you just have to finish on Oahu.
Yep. So you kind of go where the current is taking you, and when you can land, and then you have to get out on your own accord, and you have to go back up to a high water mark.
Oh, okay.
So China Walls, it was slippery, but it was not so. I was in my mind, I'm hoping it will be really embarrassing if you can't get out. But and then when I swam up, Ryan told me, okay, don't help her out. She's got to get on her own accord. So I just kind of I just hung out there and tried to let the water pop me out, but it did take a while, and I was just hoping, it was really slippery. And I just thought, I'm just going to have to wait for the water to pop me up. And we do that a lot on the North Shores. You kind of get used to it, but I was very tired at that time.
I missed the finish, but somebody recorded it, so I got to watch it, and it was exhausting to watch. My arms felt like jelly just watching the finish, and you were so patient just waiting there, and you had to just wait for pretty much a wave to pop you up on that rock, and then kind of move yourself over. And it was probably a good thing they were there to help give you advice, right? Because it sounded like they were pretty experienced in getting out in a situation like that, and they could tell you exactly what to do.
Just wait for it, and to be patient, and the water's going to pop you up eventually. And I do, we do that on the North Shore, and it was also, this will be really embarrassing if you go out this way, you can't get out of the water.
But you made it.
I made it. It wasn't pretty.
That's it probably never is at the end of the channel. So if it's pretty, you probably didn't do it right. Did you know that the finish would be that tough?
No, I was hoping that Sandy's wasn't going to be typical Sandy's and have that crazy shore break.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fine
Yeah.
in the water and swells, but I'm not that great with shore break.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest concern, was how big is Sandy's going to be.
And will you still have your capping goggles at the end?
Yeah.
So, Jane asked this question, one of our swimmers. She wanted to know, how did you manage the exit? Were you calmly waiting? Were you frustrated? Did you just surrender to it?
Yeah, I was
You looked pretty
calmly
calm.
waiting.
Yeah.
Yep, because I knew that the swells were going to pop me up eventually. And, you know, it was a little uncomfortable because so many people were waiting there just to you know, watch
What
me
was
finish.
going through your mind at
Just
that
wait
point?
it out, wait it out, like
Were
wait
you
it
just
out.
thinking, man, I'm done?
No, well, I thought wait it out, let the water pop you up. Really hope you can get out of the water.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was calm, but I was also really hoping, you know, I could get out on my own accord.
Yeah. And you did. You made it. Okay, so race is over, and now you're into swim is over. It's always a race to me, right?
Yeah.
So now you're into recovery. So when you got out that night, what did you eat and drink? Did you want anything when you got out of the water?
Well, I wanted something that would get the salt water out of my mouth, but I didn't want alcohol. I didn't want, you know, plain water. I thought my tongue was swelled, but I didn't realize what was going on. And so someone offered me lemonade, which at the time sounded great, but it ended up being the worst thing. It was so acidic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it hurt. And in fact, when I started drinking the lemonade, there was like all the channel swimmers went, ouch, you know, like that must be painful. Like I thought, well, what do they know? And you know, so I don't remember what I ate. But I went home and I sat in the tub with a ton of Epsom salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that helped.
Yeah. And then I just went straight to sleep. And then for the next week, I slept a lot. But in the middle of the night, every night, I'd wake up for at least an hour with the swim in my head. So,
like you were still in it? Were you still rocking?
I was just going through the swim, just kind of going through it and collecting my thoughts on it. And it was like clockwork. I was sleeping like 11 hours a night.
Yeah.
But from midnight to like 1 or 1:30, it was just the swim.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, just kind of, all I can say was like collecting my thoughts and my thank yous.
Yeah.
And it would just spin. But that was unusual, but my body felt like the next day I've been definitely more sore after a North Shore race.
Yeah.
Which
is fascinating.
I was a little tight, like the back was a little tight, shoulders a little, but nothing hurt. But I was incredibly fatigued. It took like a week of a lot of sleeping to feel right. And I just was kind of loopy for a few days, like really glad I didn't have to make any big decisions.
Yeah. I feel like you made probably a big enough one weekend.
But I was definitely kind of not loopy for a while.
Yeah. How long did you sleep when you got home that night?
So as soon as I got out of the tub, I got the chills really bad when I got out of the tub, and then I just crashed, and I slept from like 7 till 1 in the morning, got up, I slept, same thing, up an hour, then slept another like 8 hours, and then I took the next day off, but then I would just work, work, and then eat something, fall asleep, sleep.
Do you think some of feeling loopy and out of it was nutrition and dehydration? Or do you think it was mostly just tired?
I think just tired. We hydrated so much. Every 30 minutes we were doing electrolytes or Gatorade or water and stuff. So I felt okay, but I was definitely kind of just a little out of it.
Yeah. Did you feel like you needed to eat a lot more the next few days?
No, I actually could still just eat a little bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't, everything had to be plain. I couldn't eat anything with spice. Yeah. So I kind of had lentil chili, plain mac and cheese.
Could
yogurt.
you chew, or did you mostly want smooth
No,
stuff?
it was just my tongue kind of peeled, and it was just weird.
Yeah. Did you take ibuprofen or Aleve or anything along the way afterwards?
Yeah. Yep.
What was the worst part of the recovery or the few
I think the sunburn was super bad in areas that the Desitin wore off.
Yeah.
Like on my straps, that was a really bad sunburn. And because I left breathe, this was sunburned in my ear. That started peeling right away. And then just the stings, like the man-o-war stings.
Were they still painful or just
Yeah,
itchy
they
at that
hurt.
point?
They hurt for a couple more days. And then I couldn't figure out what was man-o-war and what was super bad sunburn.
Yeah,
But I
just
think
all burned.
Yeah. But that was the worst. But you really, nothing you could do about where my straps, rub the Desitin off. But other than that, everywhere I had Desitin on, I didn't burn.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was your body swollen after?
No, not really. Where I had stings, I was swollen.
Because I see some channel swimmers, not necessarily here, but their faces are just so swollen, and it's probably a combination of salt water and sun and maybe stings. But
my tongue was for sure, and where I was stung. But other than that, no. Just,
yeah, you didn't look like it.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me was curious, what does somebody look like at the end of a channel swim? Because I've only seen it, like Diane Nyad and some of the other big channel swimmers, and they look wrecked at the end of it. And so part of me was just kind of curious.
Yeah,
and
no, I felt
gosh,
that
she just
was
looks
all
like
fine.
she went for a swim.
Yeah, I mean, the only man-o-war stings on my face were like here, above my eyebrow. But other than that, I didn't have any other stings on my face.
Were your eyes burning by the end?
No, not because I really like my goggles, and they're polarized and they're really dark. So my eyes felt fine, and nothing hurt from wearing goggles that long.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so afterthoughts. So, time for reflection. What was the why on why you did this? Part of you went to help Steve.
Yeah.
But part of you, there was another why.
I wanted to see what my body would do. I did definitely go into it thinking I can learn a lot from, it's a great opportunity. If I can help Steve, I can learn a lot. He's done so many channel swims. So between the time that I'm in the boat and I'm swimming, what a great experience. And I thought, and there's no pressure because I can swim as little or as much as I want. So I can really swim and see how my body feels. So I wasn't really nervous about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you have to turn around and swim to shore once you get tired.
Yeah.
I mean, the boat's so close.
Yeah.
So, and whenever I do swim far, like my farthest swim, I always feel okay. So I've never really swam to exhaustion. Not that I wanted to, but I thought it would be kind of cool to see what my body could do. Yeah. But I still don't know. I did not know what I was getting myself into.
So why did you want to learn from him? Is it just for open water swimming purposes? Was it to mentor others? Was it to push yourself further with swimming?
I think it was to try something new because all the races have been, canceled all year. So a lot more people are in the ocean because they can't be in the pool. And a lot more people are starting to do channels because it's their only, option. You can
There's a different drive now than there is during race season. Yeah.
And so I didn't know. I thought, well, maybe the next thing for me is channels. Your race maybe. And so I thought, well, this is a good way to see what it's like without committing to swimming the whole thing yourself.
Yeah.
And because I think everybody that does the races in the back, they're probably thinking, am I going to do channel swimming? Especially because we're here in Hawaii and there's so many.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot to choose from. Should you have prepared more?
I think so, yeah. And so, yes. I wasn't...
Physically, mentally?
Well,
what would you have changed?
Well, I probably would have varied up what I was eating more because everything was really sweet except for me. So I think I would have, and then I probably would have just swam more distance. But leading into it, but it was such a short turnaround.
Yeah. But you did it, and you weren't sore really after, so do you think you needed more distance?
It would have been probably just to know what it felt like to swim, hour, like more than maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, you certainly got that. So I think you've probably already answered this. You liked going in blind rather than researching, thinking about it, planning. you liked the jumping into it?
Well, I did want to plan right. I don't think I was totally prepared. So, and I don't think you can talk about like Hawaii Channel swimming without talking about Linda Kaiser.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
Linda Kaiser, anytime someone was going here in Hawaii, even if they were on the mainland and they wanted to swim a channel, Linda Kaiser would totally spend a ton of time helping, prepping,
Yeah.
coaching, just mentoring.
Yeah.
She was incredible. She is the only woman ever to swim all 9 Hawaiian channels.
It's pretty
and one of
impressive.
2 overall.
Yeah.
And she is inducted in the International Marathon Swimming Hall of
Yeah.
Fame, Hawaii Waterman Hall of Fame, Hawaii Swimming Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So, and she passed away almost 2 years ago, and I think somehow she probably knew I was underprepared.
Yes.